Hey everyone, how are you doing today? I am going to be going live every single day on IG Live until my membership launches. My membership community is going to have daily teachings in it. It's going to have weekly get-togethers and monthly get-togethers. So I just wanted to give you a taste of what you would be learning in my membership and to give you some advice while you're transitioning and maybe you're looking for a coach or you're not financially able to afford a coach right now, or you're a little intimidated by the whole one-on-one coaching thing. That's totally fine. No matter where you are on your journey, you're exactly where you need to be. All right, so when we talk about raising our vibration, this is something that, just like everything, I treat it like a holistic approach. When you are dealing with energy, when you're dealing with yourself, everything is energy, right? So the thoughts you're thinking, the words you're saying, the foods you're eating, drinking, what you're consuming, everything has energy. So when we're talking about raising our vibration, we are looking at all of these things, okay? If you are not taking care of your physical body, then even if you're doing a lot of work on your thoughts, you're not going to be able to keep the balance of keeping your vibration high, right? When we lack in the spiritual, but we're doing really, really well in the physical, we're still not going to be able to raise our vibration and keep it there. The idea is to have a sustainable way to raise your vibration, which means a way that you can always come back to, and it's building blocks. So when you realize that your vibration has shifted into a negative or lower state, you now have resources to look at and understand, okay, so I was just feeling super high vibe and now I'm not. Is it something that I'm thinking? Is it a situation that I'm in? Is it because I drank a lot the night before? Is it because I ate a bunch of junk food? These are all questions that you can look at. And the idea is when you're living in full alignment, you're going to have a really, really good foundation for your mind, body, and soul. When you do this, that means if your vibration starts to lower, it's so much easier to identify why. Because if you are working on your spiritual, you're working on your physical, and you're working on your mental, and then say, you're like, all right, well, it's someone's birthday, and you have a bunch of cake, and then you drink a lot of alcohol. And then the next day, you're like, wow, it's really, really difficult for me to get my vibration up. And then if I can get it up, it's just going right back down. You can easily then identify, well, okay, I have been doing all the spiritual work. I woke up, I prayed today. I woke up, I meditated today. It wasn't as easy for me to meditate though. My meditation wasn't as effective. You can then look at, okay, why? Why wasn't my meditation as effective today? And then you go, oh, well, I normally don't eat a bunch of refined sugar because I know that that's going to impact my mood and thus impact my vibration. Oh, and I also drank a bunch of alcohol, which I also know is going to lower my vibration. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be completely sober, but what I am saying is that there are triggers and there are causes as to why your vibration is low. And the way that you get your vibration high and you keep it there is by cutting out all of the things that lower your vibration. And understand, this is all of a balance. I'm not saying don't ever eat cake, but just be mindful that when you do eat the cake, when you do eat the sugar, and when you do drink the alcohol, it's going to affect you. So you have to decide, what's moderation? What can I enjoy that isn't going to affect me negatively the next day? Or what can I do to prepare for the fact that I know that I'm going to enjoy myself tonight and that tomorrow it might be a little more difficult for me to get into that vibration? So what I want to do is talk about the things that really, really make the biggest difference in vibration, raising them, keeping them, getting them there. Because honestly, I would say this was probably the thing that I struggled with the most. I could know when I was in a low vibration, but it was like, how do I get into a high vibration? For years, I felt like for years I was trying to study this and trying to work on it and trying to find a balance that worked. And then I realized it only works where you can really stay in a high vibe is when you're working on all of these things and you're not neglecting any of them. So first and foremost, you need to move your body. Get out of your head. When you're in a low vibration, you are probably thinking about something that isn't making you feel good. If it's not making you feel amazing, if it's making you feel terrible, that is a limiting belief. Just as simply as that, you are thinking a belief that doesn't serve your highest good, and that's why it's making you feel terrible. When this happens, the fastest way to snap out of that is to move your body. Get your energy flowing. When you do this, you're going to start feeling amazing. This can be even as simple as just putting on your favorite playlist and having a good dance session at your house. Does it sound silly? Absolutely. Why? Because grown adults don't dance enough. We don't allow ourselves to have fun. We believe that kids are allowed to have fun, and then when we reach adulthood, life has to become super serious, and we have to focus on work and bills, and we don't have time to have fun because we're being responsible, which is literally the exact opposite. If you're not having fun, you're not going to be feeling good, and you're not going to be in a high vibe. And if you've created a life that's not fun for yourself, then you're living in an old school paradigm that tells you that you have to suffer and work hard and be broke and live for the weekends and for your 1 week off a year. That paradigm didn't serve anyone, including everyone who's still trying to live that way. So first and foremost, release that. That's a limiting belief. Those are limiting beliefs. You can change that. Do you see people that are having so much fun and they're successful in business and they're healthy and they're thriving in every aspect of their life? Fuck yes, you do. That means it's possible for you too. You just have to stop believing and reinforcing the programming that it has to be hard. So dance. Move your body, do some yoga. Yoga is the best for shifting energy because yoga intentionally takes your mind and it takes the focus out of your mind and it gets your mind and your body back into flow and alignment. Because in yoga, you are breathing and moving your body in a way where they're synchronized, which means your mind doesn't have a place to wander. If you are letting your mind wander during yoga, you're not doing yoga correctly. And that's okay. Don't be upset with yourself about that. Realize that yoga became a huge trend over the past few years. And just because it became trendy, doesn't mean that people are doing it correctly. I would highly recommend Kundalini yoga if you are feeling like yoga isn't enough for you, or if you're letting your mind wander. Kundalini yoga is really, really going to take the breathwork aspect and put it in with the movement, and it's going to push you to the point where you're not going to have the luxury to think about whatever your mind is cyclically trying to implant fear into your life. So move your body, sweat, you're releasing any toxins, especially if you did decide to have fun the night before and you had some sugar and you had some alcohol. You definitely need to sweat this out. Sweat out the toxins that you put into your body the night before. Get out of your head, get back into alignment with your heart. This is essential. Now also, you should be grounding yourself every single day. This is a non-negotiable. You need to be grounding yourself for the first hour of every single day and the last hour of every single day. If you're not doing this, then you're not creating a life where you're thriving. You've created a life where you don't have time for yourself, and that's why you're running yourself rampant, and that's why you don't have energy. If you wake up and you start going about your day as soon as the day starts, if you wake up and you pick up your phone and start going through emails and social media, you automatically start your day in a state of reaction. You are no longer allowing yourself to be the co-creator of your life, because in order to be the co-creator of your life, you have to have the energy and the space and have built the container to hold and store your energy. There are people called energetic vampires, and those are the people that when you go around them, you feel super, super drained. Now, this is important if you study human design, because technically the non-energy beings, they're literally built to be an energetic vampire, and that's not their fault. But at us as energy beings, because I'm an MG, we need to make sure that we are especially cultivating our energy and having a container, because when we get around a projector, a reflector, and a manifester, as a manifesting generator or a generator, they're going to drain your energy. Literally, that's what they are built to do. You're built to have the energy, they're built to take the energy. So if you feel like when you get around a particular person, you're super, super drained, they're draining your energy. And that's fine in little bits, because like we have a symbiotic relationship. They are meant to feed off of our energy, but we are not allowed to let them sit there and drain us completely, because that's not on them, that's on us. So how do we do this? You ground yourself. What does that mean? Grounding in its technical form means that you go outside and you stand in the earth barefoot, walk in the earth, stand there, whatever it may be. Honestly, I go on hikes barefoot and I live in New York right now, not New York City, so I have a lot of trails near me. I'm just very cautious. I'm not walking around where there's broken glass or in a dirty city. I'm walking around barefoot in the country, in nature, so it's completely fine. If you live near a beach, if you have a backyard, if you have any land near you, which I know you do, take your shoes off and stand there for a minute. Now, I'm not saying every single morning you need to wake up and go outside and stand there, but I am saying if you do this, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel the difference, because you are connected to everything and you are aligning your energy with the energy of Mother Nature. And this is super powerful. So that's one thing you can do. You can go outside, stand at the beach with your bare feet in the sand, stand on the grass barefoot, walk around barefoot if you have the luxury of having a backyard, or even like go to a park at some point during the day and, sit there and read a book. And while you're reading your book, take your shoes off and just have your feet planted in the ground. Also, grounding is not, when you're not just talking about that specific act of grounding, the scope of grounding means that you are aligning your energy with the earth. So it's so easy for us to spin off and get our heads up in the air, and then that's when we start feeling super disconnected. That's when we get overwhelmed, that's when we get anxious, that's when we get depressed. Because if you're letting yourself spin off, you are no longer in the present. That means you've either reverted to the past and you're getting depressed, or you've reverted to the future and you are getting anxious. You have to bring yourself in the present moment, because you can't change the past, so focusing on the past will never help you. You have lessons to learn from your past, and when your subconscious brain brings them up, that is the time for you to look at it, learn your lesson, forgive it, forgive yourself, and release it. But if you're just thinking about something that happened in the past that went away that you didn't want it to, you're literally going to bring more of those things to you, because that's what your energy is on. Where your energy goes, attention flows. So if you're focused on something that you can't change, like your past, then you're just going to be creating a future that is very similar with your past, which doesn't help you, right? When you want to change, you have to be focused in the now. You have to know that you are exactly in the right place. You are exactly where you're meant to be. The universe is always supporting you. You are where you need to be to learn soul lessons, to release ancestral shame, to learn something that has to do with your purpose so you can help change the world. So grounding means, how can you get into the present? And when you get into the present, that is when you start building that container of space for you to hold onto your energy and to store it, protect it, and have an energy that you can really vibe with and support yourself throughout the day without crashing, without feeling super low vibe, without getting frustrated. So grounding can consist of meditation, prayer. Now, when I say prayer, if you don't believe in God, if you are not part of a religion, that is okay. Honestly, I feel like that's so much better. If you're part of a religion, specifically Christianity or Catholicism, you're going to have so many limiting beliefs that you have to work through because what they teach you is so fear-based. So don't get creeped out when I say prayer. Prayer means that you understand that you are connected to everything and that you are a co-creator of your life. And you are allowing yourself to surrender the how when you are praying, because that is where most of us get tripped up. Society teaches us if we don't know how to accomplish something, don't do it. And that is why so many people, 98% of people, are not successful and only 2% are, because they realize that what we've been taught is all lies. And if we look at who's been teaching us these lies, they're unfulfilled, unhappy people who never lived their dreams. So why have we created a society where these people get to tell us what to do? And that's why the new paradigm has started to shift, because us as millennials know that that's terrible. Why would we live our life feeling miserable? We wouldn't live our lives feeling miserable. If you had the choice to feel amazing every second of every day, to love your life, to love yourself, to have fun every single day, wouldn't you choose that? Damn right you would. Every single one of us would choose that. I am here to tell you, you can choose that. You get to choose that. But that's the thing, right? Every second of every day you have to choose that. If you are super low vibrational because you came from a family that was super low vibrational, I get it. My family, number one on that scale. And will they ever change? It's not likely, right? Your subconscious brain is pretty much programmed by age 35. So if you haven't started questioning and reprogramming your brain, it's almost impossible once you get to 35. You can actively choose to follow new paths of thought, but it's not going to be ingrained in you. So if you're younger and you've started questioning, good, you are on the right path. You are doing the work. So meditate. Pray. Listen, if you've never meditated before, guided meditations are going to be your soul savior. Meditation is not going to help you. And hear me when I say this, because not enough people stress this. If you're meditating and you're super low vibe and you try to meditate while you're super low vibe, chances are, if you are not an experienced meditator, you're gonna stay super low vibe, right? Like your mind and your energy are already there. So if you're trying to guide yourself out of a state that you're unfamiliar with, so you really don't know how to guide yourself out of it, you're going to sit and feel worse. And your meditation is going to be you sitting in a silent room, focusing on the things that you don't wanna focus on. Don't beat yourself up. That is natural. It's not natural for your ego to sit and be quiet. Your ego is constantly trying to save you. Your ego is always looking for problems because it wants to save you. Your ego was super, super helpful when we were hermits and when we were cavemen and when we lived in tribes, right? Your brain is what kept you alive. It would rather think that that wind that made a noise in the distance is a bear coming to kill you, and have it not be a bear and have you be on full alert that a bear is coming, than it be a bear and it lets it go and then a bear comes and eats you alive, right? So realize that your ego has, oh, thank you so much. Your ego absolutely had a purpose. Your ego no longer has a purpose, okay? It's not helping you anyway. Not in first world societies, not in modern day times. Your ego is gonna constantly go from this to this. Oh, and then when you stop, you're going to go from this. It's that hamster on the wheel. That is your ego. So in order to stop your ego and reframe, listen to a guided meditation. People don't push this enough. If you're not familiar with meditating, don't try to do it on your own. It's okay. Don't feel bad. Just know that this is how everyone starts. Listen to a guide. Follow guided meditations, which you can find anywhere. YouTube is literally going to save the day when it comes to meditations. Find someone you listen to that you really like, a voice that resonates with you, or sounds that resonate with you. Then, once you get comfortable with sitting and being still, I would suggest moving from a guided meditation to a meditation with sounds, either a sound bath, nature sounds, binaural beats. Understand that binaural beats are literally reprogramming your mind when you're listening to them. I will explain how that works. This is all in my holistic well-being course. A lot of what I'm giving you today is in that course right now, a holistic well-being workshop, if I'm being super correct. So binaural beats, what they do is they play a sound here and a sound here. Now, your left and your right ear hear sounds differently. So what happens is when these sounds play, your brain is now training to listen to the in-between frequencies between your left ear and your right ear. That's how they reprogram. That's why they're so effective. That's why you should really listen to binaural beats while you're sleeping, but they're also going to help you while they're meditating, because your brain, whether you're aware of it or not, is going to be focusing on those noises. So it's one less distraction for your ego to take control. Now, you can also listen to classical music, so great for your brain. Listen to spa music. You can listen to nature sounds, anything that's going to get you into a more calming and peaceful state without your ego coming on full attack mode because it's gotten silent. Now, also, you have to take inventory of your thoughts, your feelings, and your energy level. Just think about it. If you're feeling great one moment and then the next moment you all of a sudden feel terrible, what happened? Are you thinking about something that's bringing you down, something that you don't want to think about? Are you in a situation that you're really not happy with, whether it be a personal relationship, like a close friend, a love relationship, or your job, or is it your family? Understand that when you start feeling terrible, anxious, or depressed, that is when your intuitive guidance system is speaking to you. So when you start getting depressed, when you start getting anxious, I want you to take a pause, like actually pause and say, okay, what was I just thinking about? What was I just experiencing? Okay. And say it was something at work and you're like, all right, well, I really feel bad right now because I'm focusing on this job that really drains me. And I know that I need to pay the bills, but I feel like I'm not respected by my boss. I feel like I'm constantly being walked all over. And I feel like this is a super negative workplace. Okay, so that's amazing. You now understand the root of why you don't feel amazing. Now, how can we shift it? If it's a work situation like that, I probably picked one of the most complicated metaphors. But anyway, if it's that situation, it's going to be a little more difficult, right? You do still have to pay your bills. That is true. You do need money to survive. Everyone does. But money is your best friend. Money is great. You shouldn't have a negative connotation with money. But realize if you're working somewhere that you absolutely hate, that's not for you. That's not where you're meant to be. So learn whatever it is that job taught you, because I'm sure that you were put there for a reason. I've worked in a lot of jobs that I didn't like growing up, and every single one of them had such purpose. It helped me on my next mission, my next goal. It gave me skills that I wouldn't have had if I didn't work in that place. So learn your lessons, and then if it's that work situation, which is honestly, I'm telling you the most difficult thing right here. If it's a work situation, find another job. Like, we don't stress that enough. If you hate your job, if it's making you miserable, if you have a boss that doesn't appreciate you, if you're being put into situations that you shouldn't be put into, quit your damn job. I'm not saying just quit on the spot and don't have a backup plan, but find a better job. Find a job that allows you to feel good, where you're respected, where you're making money so you can still pay your bills. Understand that you can start your own business so that you can make money, so you can thrive and love your life. You can find a job where you work part-time and then you can start working on your business more. Or you can just find a job where you're more appreciated and you feel better, and then reassess. Once you feel better, it'll be so much easier to understand. Now, that was like one of the most complicated. So if it's a love relationship and it's really not serving you anymore, leave the person. If it's a thought that you're thinking about, like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to come up with this money, stop thinking about it. When you're thinking about lack, specifically when it comes to money, that's what you're going to get. You're going to have not enough money. I don't know how I'm going to pay these bills. You're going to keep materializing that. And your subconscious is always listening to you. You're making direct commands when you speak and think. My motto is, I woke up to live and don't live to work. That helps me. Oh, Natalie, I love that. You're absolutely right. And that is the trick right there. Come up with an affirmation that gives you empowerment. Affirmations are simply you declaring something to the universe and you saying it over and over again until you believe it. Once you believe it, it's now a part of your story and a part of your identity, and that's when it will manifest and materialize on the physical plane. Everything is connected. Natalie, that is so beautiful. I love that. And if you're someone who's having an issue with career or work, use that. Natalie has a great affirmation right there. Use any affirmation. And listen, you don't have to come up with an affirmation on your own. If you don't feel comfortable with it, there's tons of them out there. There's so many people. Use social media to help you. Now, you can also just go out in nature to ground. You can walk outside. Getting fresh air is going to help, first of all. Moving your body helps, second of all. Then you're also getting healing vibes from Mother Nature. Every tree that you walk by has healing vibes. It has wisdom. It has energy. Try saying hi to the trees when you walk by them. Try hugging trees. Try holding your hand to a tree and saying thank you for your healing wisdom. Thank you for your healing energy. Do I sound like a crazy hippie right now? You're damn right I do. But does that make it any less true? No, it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. So also, if you're thinking about things that you don't want to, change the story. Change whatever you're thinking about, the situation, the thoughts. It can all be reprogrammed. It can all be changed. It's all on you. So literally anytime you start noticing that you are feeling amazing, you are feeling great, and now you've noticed, doesn't matter that you shifted, but noticing is what matters, because when you notice you have attention, that's when you can correct it. So, and the faster you start correcting it, the faster you catch yourself and the faster you train your neural pathways to reprogram. And again, it takes 21 days. As long as you're under 35, it takes 21 days to reprogram your brain. So if you do something every single day for 21 days, you have reprogrammed it. Is it as simple as that? No. But can it be as simple as that? Yes. It's with everything. Practice makes perfect. It will get easier. So anytime you feel low vibe, stop, assess, and correct. Change the thought you're thinking about. Stop feeling stuck. Feel what it would feel like to be abundant. Feel what it would feel like to love your life. Feel what it would feel like to be in joy. You have to move away from everything and everyone that's draining your energy. Anything that makes you feel terrible, move away from, and constantly move back to everything that makes you feel amazing. The more you do this, the less often you'll feel terrible and the more often you'll feel amazing. It's going to take a lot of work at first because it's so unnatural and you've been living on autopilot. But once you get out of autopilot, your brain, it doesn't get tricked by your ego anymore. You say, no, ego. I'm in control here. I see where you're trying to make me feel inadequate, But that already happened in my life, and I love myself, I accept myself, and I respect myself. So I'm no longer going to think these thoughts that aren't serving me. And change the story. Take control. Now, also, the people that you surround yourself with are so important. The 5 people you surround yourself with are going to set the barriers of what your life looks like. So if the people in your physical proximity are not helping you evolve, they aren't helping you grow, you don't feel amazing when you start hanging out with them or when you leave them, then stop hanging out with them. Honestly, it's not likely that the people in your physical world are going to be doing this work. This work is becoming more common because more people are realizing that we can become co-creators, but it doesn't mean that we're fully there yet. This isn't a societal norm. So understand that unless you're living in a really, really diverse city like LA or NYC, you probably don't have that. I live 2.5 hours away from New York City, like hop, skip, and a jump. That's absolutely nothing. When you live in upstate New York, we got a lot of farms, we have a lot of land, like long drives like that are nothing. Let me tell you, that 2.5 hour difference might be nothing of a drive, but shifting from the thoughts that the people think and the actions and what they do, it could not be any different. It is so close-minded where I live, and we're so close to the city. So if you're in California and you're super close to LA, like within 2.5 hours, it doesn't mean that the people that are physically around you are going to be doing the work that the people in LA are doing. Just understand that and get that social media is absolutely beautiful because you can build your own community. Connect with like-minded people. Follow people that encourage you to grow and to be your best self and that are trying to do what you're trying to do. Build a business, get their mind mastered, have a really great spiritual practice, have healthy eating, anything like that. Spend more time around people that are going where you want to be or are already where you want to be. They're going to push you to become the person you want to become. That is why I have created Blissed Out Society, my membership community that will be launching in the next few weeks. And I will be doing these live videos until then. And then these videos will go into my community because it's really a place where I want you to have all of my coaching. What I would give you in coaching, I want to give you in a resource on a place where you have them all and you can go daily so that you can reprogram your mind, so that you do have a place to go that's super high vibrational. I just literally ingrain all of my work with high vibes because I want you to feel it. I want you to get into the state that I'm in. So join Blissed Out Community if you're looking for a community, because we are going to have all of the resources and all of the things that you need to connect with like-minded people to really, really up your life and transform into the person you've always wanted to be. Now, I will be doing grounding techniques. I'll be cooking in there, learning resources, all of it. Community with your new besties. Now, here's another thing that I know that not everyone likes to think about, or a lot of people don't even mention when we talk about raising our vibration. But I do, because I did this work for 13 years, and that's why I built a foundational approach to well-being. There are building blocks. When you build your foundation, just like a house, you have to have a strong foundation to keep building your first floor, your second floor, third floor, roof. However many floors you want to have, if you don't have a steady foundation, your building will collapse. The building is the metaphor for your life. So, what are you eating? What are you drinking? Now, I mentioned this a little earlier about the whole, like, if you wanted to go out and have cake and have a drink because it was someone's birthday, it will affect you the next day. And that's fine as long as you're aware that it is going to affect you. But there are certain things. Now, first of all, let me just state, your gut health and your mental health are directly linked. If you are not eating well, you do not have good gut health. Without good gut health, you can't have good mental health, okay? Your mental health will completely tank over and over and over again if you're eating crappy food, if you're drinking alcohol, if you're doing drugs and smoking cigarettes. I guarantee you that if 90% of the people on this planet stopped, and I'm not going to tell you to stop doing this, but I'm just saying I guarantee you if they did, if they stopped taking their antidepressants and their anti-anxiety medicine and they literally just changed what they were eating and drinking, they wouldn't need the pill that is making them feel better, but really only day to day until they take the pill again. Medicine is your food. So you need to look at what you're eating and what you're putting in your body. Now, everyone is different, but there are specific things that you have to cut out. So if you're drinking alcohol every day, this is a major one. Drinking alcohol every day, one, is going to lower your vibration, matter of factly. Now, and one thing that people just don't realize enough is the impact. Why does alcohol lower your vibration besides the fact that you're putting a depressant into your body? It lowers your vibration because you're typically drinking to avoid whatever you're feeling. Now, if you drink every single day, that means you are avoiding what you are feeling every single day. And that means that you're not healing. You're actually preventing yourself from healing. You're preventing yourself from addressing the situations that need to be addressed, from looking at the feelings that are harboring inside of you, and you're not learning the lessons that your subconscious mind is trying to teach you. If you don't learn the lesson the first time that your subconscious mind is trying to teach you, your subconscious mind, first of all, knows when you're ready. It will hold on to things until you have the tools as an adult to deal with them. So if it's coming up now, it's because you do have the tools to deal with them, whether you consciously realize it or not. So what that means is your subconscious brain, since it knows that you need to learn from this, is going to keep bringing that situation up, and it's going to make it worse and worse and worse and worse. Basically to slap you in the face and be like, hello. And that's the thing is, don't do that, because it does get worse and worse and worse. You can help yourself by dealing and healing as soon as it comes up. It's not always easy, but it's required work. I'm not saying you have to be sober, but I am saying if you're drinking alcohol every single day, what are you avoiding? What are you avoiding thinking? What are you avoiding feeling? What are you avoiding doing in your life? And how is that helping you? I'll tell you, it's not. So that was a trick question. It's not helping you. But you need to look at why you're telling yourself you need to drink every single day. Because you don't. And you're making your life worse if you do. Now, that's so important, because the same thing is with if you're doing drugs, if you're smoking cigarettes, except with doing drugs and smoking cigarettes, you're literally killing your body while doing it. If you're killing your body, again, this is a foundational approach. You can't have good mental health. You can't have good spiritual health if you're literally killing your body multiple times a day. So I can't believe I even have to say that. Like, honestly, I can't believe people still smoke cigarettes in 2020. Like, what world do we live in? And vaping. Y'all, if you don't understand how bad vaping is for your body and that it's literally killing your lungs because you're putting a foreign substance in vapor form, stop. Vaping is literally just as bad as cigarettes. If you don't understand that, please do some research. Or just take my word for it and stop. All right. So then what else? Drinking, eating refined sugars. Here's another one that I feel like is not talked about enough. What happens when you drink soda? Do you know? I don't think anyone does. Soda, your body literally doesn't know what to do with soda. It's that foreign of a substance that when you drink soda, your body literally cannot do anything else with it besides convert it to fat. So if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to feel better and you're drinking soda even once a day, you have to stop that. Soda is truly one of the worst things you could ever drink. And when I say this, please understand that my background is that my mother wakes up and drinks Diet Pepsi from the moment she wakes up until the moment she goes to sleep. My first memory of my mother is her eating Weight Watchers food and saying that she's going on a diet. I'm 31 years old. I'm about to be 32. My mother still, every Monday, goes on a diet. She's been overweight and unhealthy her entire life. And what is the one thing that she's never tried to cut out or to stop doing is soda. I was addicted to caffeine so badly when I was little because my mother was so irresponsible that she let me drink that much soda. I know how addictive soda can be. I know how bad it is for you. So I'm not coming from a really healthy life where I've just never drank soda and I'm telling you it's easy. I came from the exact opposite. In every way, shape, and form, you can say that you came from low vibration, unhealthy people with unhealthy, toxic traits. I've got 100% of them, okay? That's why this work took me 13 years to do. That is why I'm here. Because I don't want it to take you 13 years. It was fucking hell. Because I had to do it all on my own. I had no guidance. I was not taught any of this. And I was never supported. I didn't have a loving family. To this day, my mother doesn't hug us or tell us that she loves us. I don't think that she's ever said that, actually. I don't know that she's ever hugged us. So, and us being my sister and I. That's fine. I feel like I have to give you reference sometimes because your ego is automatically going to go because it gets defensive and it doesn't want to change itself, right? Oh, well, that little skinny girl told me that I can't drink soda, and what does she know? She probably grew up drinking water every single day, coming from a family full of vegans. That is the exact opposite. That is the exact opposite of what I came from. And you know what I do? I teach people to love themselves wholly, completely, authentically, and to thrive, even when this is what they came from. So just know if your ego is making any excuses right now, it's trying to keep you small because it knows if you start changing, you get your power back. And your ego doesn't want you to have power because then you're in control of your life. So cut out the soda. First of all, if you're trying to cut out soda or drinking a lot of sugar, this is what I teach my clients, and I swear by this because this is what I did. If you need to cut it out, if you want to cut out anything in your life, it's always moderation. I'm not trying to speak from a negative place. I just know how badly this affects you, and I know how much people don't stress it. And I need to start stressing these things because I need you to heal, because you need to heal. Collectively, we all heal when you heal. So for cutting out anything when it comes to soda, sugary drinks like that, this is what you do. Anytime you're eating, do not allow yourself to drink anything other than water. Or if you're someone that can eat without drinking, because you don't have to drink while you're eating, it actually cuts down on your digestive enzymes. So you really should be drinking water a half an hour before you eat and then half an hour after you eat. But I'm not one of those people, right? Like, I need to have a drink while I'm eating. I have worked on this immensely, but I still have a drink. And what that is it's water. Just water. Don't put any flavoring in it, just have water. Because think about it, you're already eating, you already have flavor. There's zero need for you to add more flavor to that. That's just your brain thinking you have to because you've always done it. So the easiest way to start cutting it out and limiting and cutting back is anytime you have food, drink water, grab water. Then you're training your brain that when it sees food to no longer be like, oh, I need soda. It goes, oh, we've got food, we need water. And the more you do this, the more it'll become habitual. Then you won't even have to think about it, right? When I am eating food, I implemented that 3 years ago. I don't believe in time because it's not real and not linear. So around then, I use it because other people need like time frames, but for years, right? And now it's to the point where it's not a conscious thought. I drink water because that's what I've trained myself to do. Also, think about it. We are the only species on the planet that drinks something other than water or their mother's milk. And now that's a great segue to if you're drinking dairy. That is one of the biggest lies that the government and the farm dairy producers have lied to you about. If you don't know, in America, there's things called hamburger laws, where you're not allowed to talk about, to report, to discuss anything that's going on when it specifically in agriculture, mostly in dairy farms and in meat producing operations. Because if you saw what was going on, you would never be eating and drinking those products. But first of all, I'm not telling you to cut it out, meat anyway, you should. But drinking milk actually is proven now. The more milk you drink, the greater your correlation and the greater chances you have of having osteoporosis. So they told you to drink milk so your bones were stronger, and it's literally the exact opposite. Think about that. Only a baby calf, a baby cow, that's the only person on the planet, not even a person, that's the only thing on the planet that was meant to drink a cow's milk. You actually would get more benefits if you are a human, an adult human, drinking rat milk than you would drinking cow milk. I'm not making this up. It's just, that's how, like, that's why, what is it? There's something like 30 ingredients or 500 ingredients. I don't remember how many, but America has so many ingredients that other countries have not allowed because we are a for-profit country. We have a for-profit healthcare system. We don't believe in preventative healthcare. We want you to get cancer. We want you to pay the drugs. We want you to take chemo, which is going to kill you. When if you really just changed your eating and your thoughts and your daily practices, you get rid of your cancer, okay? Like, you have to realize that what you're eating is going to either make you healthy or it's going to make you sick. And in America, they want you to be sick. Yes, plus it has about 5 grams of sugar per 100 milliliters. Right, exactly. They're putting so much sugar in it so that it tastes okay. Honestly, anything. I look at every single ingredient I pick up. Like, I always laugh and think about what the people who are working, LPN, like the people that work, not licensed practical nurse, but the people that are watching to see if you steal stuff. I always feel like I must be so entertaining for them because every single thing I pick up, if it's something I don't know anyway, like I've never bought before, I pick it up and I look at it. And I would tell you, 85% of what I pick up in the grocery store, I put back with a disgusted face. Like, ew, what the fuck? Like, I literally, I have this whole thing and I'm like, this is appalling. So look at what you're eating. Now, honestly, it's super easy. Drink more water, eat more plants. If you do nothing else, implement that in your daily life. Drink more water, eat more plants. A plant-based diet means that you can still eat all of the things you normally eat, but you're shifting the proportions. Your largest portion is going to be plants, and everything else will be your sides. So if you're still going to eat meat, if you're still going to eat fish, make it a side. It should not be the main course of your meal. Now, here's something I would love to blow the fuck wide open. You're not protein deficient. Stop eating protein because you think you need it. You don't. Most humans have too much protein. You know what you are deficient in? Fiber. You know where fiber comes from? Plants. Also, do you know where protein comes from? Plants. So if you want to have the highest source of protein, if you're still on the belief and myth that you need to eat a lot of protein, meat is the exact opposite of what you should be eating then. Because in order for a cow, say if you want to eat a steak, in order for a cow to get protein, it has to eat grass and it has to convert that grass into protein. Now, if you're actually familiar what's going on in our dairy and meat industry, they aren't eating grass. They're being fed corn. Cows are not meant to eat corn. There's literally zero nutrition in corn for anyone, even humans. Corn is literally a filler. So if you're eating a steak that was cut from a cow that's only eating corn, there's no protein. Like, it's literally lost the protein that you're looking for. So I'm not saying cut out meat. If meat is something you want to eat, fine, but eat grass-fed meat. Know where your meat is coming from. Know that your meat has the protein that you're actually looking for. There is one, and I'm totally forgetting the protein or what it is, but there is something that is broken down when humans eat meat that we do need, and we can't get it from any other source, right? I haven't eaten meat in 2 years, but I will tell you that. That is why meat can be healthy for you, but just eat it in smaller portions and make sure your meat is higher quality. I eat mostly soja. Yeah, exactly. Just be conscious of what you're eating and eat better. So, what you do need to do is eat more nutrient dense foods like plants. So that way you can just feel better. Realize that your food is the direct connection to this planet. If you're not eating foods that are connected to this planet, if they're highly processed, if they're so foreign and they're filled with chemicals you can't pronounce, you're gonna be feeling terrible. Mentally, spiritually, emotionally. It's going to tank. And if you're eating a lot of sugar, if you're eating like super processed foods, that's when you're gonna go up and that's when you're gonna crash suddenly. And that's gonna be hard for you to keep a sustainable raised vibration. So I just had to talk about food because I just feel like it's not talked about enough when we look at energy. And everything is energy, even the food that you're eating. That's why eating local foods is better. That's why eating organic foods is better. All of this matters. All of this matters. And then what else can you do? Your daily habits. Spend less time on social media, watching the news and binge watching TV or Netflix, because it's always going to lower your vibration. When you're doing that, you're getting yourself into a state where you're judging and you're comparing. And first of all, the news, I love this quote by Tony Robbins. The news is not meant to educate you. It is meant to keep you in a fear-based reality. That is not an exact quote, but that's basically what he says. The news isn't here to inform you. It's really not, right? If the news was here to inform us and make us feel good, it would be talking about the positive things that happened, because we know that murder happens. We know that rape happens. We know that we live in a duality planet. But why does every news channel only tell you about the things that are negative? Because it keeps you stuck in a low vibrational paradigm, which means you're going to believe everything they tell you. It's literally the Matrix. This is where we're at. You have to, take the red pill? Whatever. You got to stop watching the news. What is it helping you? What are you learning? Honestly, even in a pandemic, nothing is changing every single day. If you're watching the news every single day, God, even an hour, literally, they've already repeated what they were saying. Yes, exactly, Natalie. The news does keep you small and in fear. So shut it off. I'm not saying go out of touch with reality, have no idea what's going on in the social, economic, and political world. Tune in, but tune in for 10 minutes a month, honestly. You will have more than enough information. And if something were to happen that is breaking news, it's really going to affect you, it's super serious, you need to know now, we live in a time of social media, okay? Someone is gonna let you know. If it's that important, it will be blasted everywhere. Everyone will be talking about it. You won't be able to miss it. So don't tell yourself that you have to watch the news because something breaking is gonna happen that you're gonna miss. That's you believing the limiting beliefs in the paradigm. Now, also stay off of Facebook. I'm telling you, when has anyone gotten on Facebook and felt better about themselves? The only credibility that I will give to Facebook is because Instagram doesn't allow for a community aspect, and Facebook bought out Instagram, which is why our algorithms are absolutely terrible. And honestly, I'll never stop saying this, but chapter 8 in my business ethics books was business ethic textbook in college was dedicated to Facebook. No other chapter was dedicated to a business or an organization. Facebook has violated its users' rights every second that it could from its formation, and it never takes corrective action until a court tells them that they have to pay out and that they've been found negligent. Mark Zuckerberg does not care about you. He will perform behavioral tests on you without your knowledge, and that is illegal. So that's why they have those groups on Facebook, because they know if they kept those groups on Instagram, or if they made that a possibility, Facebook would lose half its users. The young users, they would be off of there, because you're not getting value out of Facebook unless you're in a group where you're connecting with like-minded people. But the thing is, to even get to that group, you have to see your news feed, and it's super low vibrational. Unless you have a business where you're running business ads through Facebook, I would highly recommend you delete your Facebook. Listen, if people don't know your phone number, if they are under the belief that you don't exist or things aren't happening in life without you having a Facebook, that's their problem. I didn't have a Facebook for like 7 years, and it was the best time of my life. I only now have one to generate Facebook ads, and it's literally probably one of my top 10 least favorite things about my life is that I have a Facebook, honestly. That's how important it is to me. That's how bad Facebook is. I get that Facebook bought out Instagram, but the difference is that on Instagram and YouTube, you have high vibe content creators that are educating you, and they're giving you resources, and they're giving you high vibe material, and they're helping you on your journey. Honestly, they're only doing it through Facebook to reach the people that won't come over to Instagram and won't come over to YouTube. You don't need to have a Facebook. You can still get all of this information, and it'll be more high vibe. So unfollow anyone in your life that you physically know that isn't adding value. Block anyone that isn't. Follow people that are super high vibe. Hold on to anyone that's super high vibe. Go back to their page. Feel into it. Learn more. Find more people that are helping you. Find more people that are doing what you're doing or at your journey so you can connect with them. DM them. Honestly, you can make friends all over the world. There's no holding you back. Now, another thing that you can do is speak highly of yourself, speak highly of others. Realize when you're talking negatively about someone, you're talking negatively about yourself. We're all connected. And if your subconscious mind is hearing you think or speak negatively about someone else, it's going to take that to heart, and it's going to be how you feel about yourself. You cannot live a high vibe life if you are talking negatively and gossiping about others. Cut out anyone in your life, even if it's your parents. Cut them out. Like my mom gossips about everyone. She doesn't say anything positive about anything or anyone ever. So I don't talk to her. Like every once in a blue moon, I'll talk to her. When she calls me, when she texts me, I don't answer because it's my phone. I have boundaries. I get to decide. If you're not a healthy person in my life, you don't get to be in my life. Understand that you have control over who you let in, when you let them in. And then also be of service. When you are getting really caught up and you are low vibrational and you're super depressed or overwhelmed or anxious, it's because you're thinking about you. Your ego is going full force. Go out and serve. We're in a pandemic, so if you can't go somewhere, that's fine, but get on a live stream, help people, go into a group where people are talking about things and you have ways to help them. If there's a friend in your life and you've got a way to help them, help them. Ask people if there's something that you can do for them. The more that you go out and you try and help other people, the more that your ego is going to have to take a back seat. Because it's not about you. It's not about your ego. You're here to help the collective because you're part of the collective. And when you're healing others, you're healing yourself. So that is so powerful. If you haven't served someone yet today, then you're gonna probably be in a state of ego. Serve more people, help more people, be kind, be nice. Even if that means, I know that this doesn't really work now, smiling at someone when they walk by. You can't really smile and see it under a mask, but wave, say a hi, how are you doing? Just be in a better state, be better around other people, and it will help you. You only have a few more, I promise. We are ending this soon. So another thing that is so powerful, and this is something that you might not be ready to grasp. It depends on where you're at in your journey, but if you're not ready to grasp it and your brain is like, not sure what she's talking about, hear it, understand it's okay, you don't exactly know, and then come back to it. It will make sense. It will click at one point. But one of the biggest and most powerful things that you can do to change your life, and I teach this to all of my clients, but granted, I give them a lot of foundation, and this is probably at least 2 months into our coaching program that we would talk about this. But if you've heard people talk about quantum leaping, Dr. Joe Dispenza, he's so good at talking about this. This is what he pretty much specializes in. Neuroscience, quantum physics, I incorporate all of it. So what quantum leaping is it's understanding that time is linear and that the person that you are identifying with in this moment is creating your reality. So if you're saying that I am stuck in a corporate job that I hate, I have to work 9 to 5, I barely make enough money to pay my bills, I really don't like where I live, I don't have a lot of friends, I'm gonna be single forever, I'm just always depressed and anxious and I'm unmotivated. This is an identity that you've created for yourself. So now everything that comes into your external world is going to align with this identity. Well, that's a really shitty identity. So it's up to you to decide, okay, yes, Muji is my favorite. Eckhart Tolle is so good. All of these teachers, so good. But Muji I love, he's my favorite because it's spiritual and so powerful. The mindfulness aspect is something that I think is super important because letting go of attachment and letting go of these feelings and these thoughts and not associating yourself with the thoughts you're thinking because they aren't you and you can choose to think something else. So your identity, if that was your old identity, okay, who do you want to be? Okay, I want to be a successful entrepreneur. I want to be making $100,000 a month in my business. I want to be impacting 20 clients a month. I want to have 250 clients in my online course. I want to wake up every single day high vibe and have high vibe thoughts and eat high vibe foods. So instead of saying I want, take that out and say I am. I am is the most powerful statement that you can make, which is why I have I am affirmations on my website for sale. Because whatever you put after I am is you declaring to the universe what you are and what you can have. So I am a successful CEO. I am a successful entrepreneur. I do make $100,000 a month. I make such an impact every single day. I have 300 plus students in my online course. I have 20 plus people in my coaching program. I wake up every single day and I love my life. This is a new identity. You can't just say it once and your reality changes. You have to say it and repeat it and believe it. Until you repeat something, you won't believe something. Until you believe something, you can't manifest it. That is the one reason that the law of attraction doesn't work, because The Secret doesn't talk about this. If you don't believe what you're trying to manifest, it will never manifest. That's why they talk about getting a parking spot, because anybody can believe they can get a good parking spot. Not everyone can believe that they're going to make $100,000 a month, but what you can do is decide that this is going to be your reality. And then anytime a thought comes up that isn't aligned with that reality, you can look at it and say, okay, where did this thought come from? What's the first time I can remember this thought happening? Now, is this thought serving me at my highest good? No. So what can I change this thought to be? And you continually review what's happening, what these limiting beliefs are. And when you deprogram and you change all of your limiting beliefs to align with this new reality, that's when you quantum leap. So keep doing the work, but understand the more you say, I am successful, I am a CEO, I make $100,000 a month. The more you say these things, the more you declare them, the more your subconscious goes, oh, she keeps repeating these things. She keeps saying these things. They must be very important. So let me shuffle some things around so we can make $100,000 a month. So she is a successful CEO, so that she does have clients that are aligning with her work. The more you change your reality, the faster it's going to shift. And you change your reality by changing your beliefs, not by working harder and getting more jobs. Complete opposite of the old paradigm. You have to change you in the now to change your future and to manifest. And I know that is so counterintuitive to what you've always been taught, but I would ask you to look at, is what you've been taught your whole life allowing you to live your dream life? If it's not, then I'd say let it go and let's program a new belief that allows you to live your dream life. That is as simple as that. All right. So honestly, along those lines, cut out anything that isn't fully aligned with the life you are trying to live. Everything and everyone. If it's that low vibe job, cut it out. Low vibe friend, cut it out. Low vibe family member, cut them off. Low vibe thoughts, cut them out. Reprogram into new thoughts. Low vibe feelings, look at where they're coming from. What can you change so that that feeling isn't occurring? Change it, shift it, believe it. And honestly, the more you say yes to the things that you do feel lit up by, that are giving you energy and giving you life, the more of those things that are going to come into your world. The more you say no to the things that you do want, you're going to get more of those things that you don't want. So say yes to the things that you want and be firm and say no to the things you don't want. Because when you say no to something that isn't serving you, that isn't aligned with your highest good, that's you declaring to the universe that you've upped your standards and you no longer accept these low vibrational things into your life. And then the universe is gonna go, okay, you're finally starting to get it. And then they're gonna give you, they, the universe, God, whomever you believe in, will start giving you more things that align and make you feel high vibe and make you feel great. And then you can always just go and have fun. If you're trying to raise your vibration, having fun will always get you in a good state. When you want to think about what vibration is and what high vibration is having fun. Whenever you're having fun, that feeling of just joy and love and laughter, that is high vibe. That's one of the highest vibes you can feel. So have fun. Go do something you've never done before. Go to a place you've never seen before. Create something. Paint. Whatever it is. Like whatever it is that's fun for you, go do that. Because when you get out of your head, when you get out of the stressful situation or the situation you think is causing you stress, then you open up yourself for clarity. You start living in the present moment, and that's when you flow with the universe. When you're in the present moment, your intuition can speak to you, and your intuition can guide you to where you want to go. That is the goal. You have to release your control, surrender your control of the how to the universe, and be in the now with your why. With your why. The why is up to you. The how is never your responsibility. And then my last and final thing is just summing it all up. So to sum up, high vibe feelings just simply make you feel amazing. Low vibe feelings, very simply, make you feel terrible. So the work is to shift. Anytime you notice that you're feeling terrible into feeling amazing, and you shift by looking at what's making you feel terrible, eliminating it, changing it, reframing it, shifting it, and then going into a place where you feel amazing. And you can do this by using any of the techniques that I've provided to you in this. Now, and these aren't even all of the techniques. These are just the most powerful ones that have worked for me, that work for my clients, that I find to be effective no matter where you've come from, no matter where you are in life. These are going to help you bring holistic well-being into your life. And honestly, having holistic well-being is that foundation for you to have a container of energy and hold on to your container of energy. So I am so grateful that you've been with me today. I really hope that you got something valuable out of this. Even if one thing in here helped you to see your life differently or helped to empower you to realize that you're in control. You get to decide. Thank you so much, Natalie. You are beautiful. You're an angel, and I really appreciate your comments and you being here. And it was really awesome to get to connect. Thank you. And everyone else who is not live right now, I am going to save this. I will put it up as an IGTV. I will load it onto my YouTube as well in case you'd rather be there. I'll let you all know when it gets up to you. When it gets up to YouTube. Until then, if you have any questions, please DM me. If you'd like to sign up for my coaching program, I have everything on my website is on sale. I'm giving back to the community until 1/1/21. So that's thousands of dollars of sales on my coaching program. That's hundreds of dollars off of my programs, offerings. And if a lot of this information was really, really useful and valuable to you, this is primarily what I teach in my holistic well-being workshop. It's on sale right now for $111. Honestly, I made everything $111 if I could, because I was really feeling the angel numbers. So it's 111, but that course is a self-regulated course. It's going to be based on you reading and integrating these principles and doing homework to really change your life. So everything that I've talked about here, the eating well, the energy, the things to put your energy into, the grounding techniques, I teach all of this in Holistic Wellbeing Workshop, because that is the workshop that has my 13 years of personal development and health that I did in it all in one place. So if this has resonated with you, I would highly suggest you checking out that workshop. And if you have any additional questions or anything else, if you'd like to chat, DM me. I would love to hear from you. I hope you have the most amazing day. Remember, you are the creator of your life. You're doing incredible. You're exactly where you're meant to be. And you are meant to be alive right now. You have a purpose. You are here to help the planet. And we are so much better off because you're here with us. I love you so, so much. And I'll see you tomorrow because I'm doing these every day. Goodbye.